Considering I spent the past couple of weeks talking about my now published book, Eye of the Dragon, on this channel, I thought it might be interesting to just actually talk about it for a change. Because mostly, ever since I made this jump to self publishing, I've been talking about upcoming projects, projects I've already worked on, ideas I've had, inspirations, but I have not talked a whole lot about the published book itself, and I thought I would take the opportunity to sort of do that. Maybe talk about like how I came up with the idea, what the novel is like, what I hope its audience is like. I am very excited about how things are turning out so far. I am very pleased with the results of my little experiment here, and I'm very excited that people are buying my book. I'm very excited that people are looking at it and reading it, and I I am just enamored with the amount of positive feedback I've gotten. I'm just completely I'm just so happy with all of you. It's very, very, it's very, very exciting for me, and I hope everyone continues to support me going forward because I have other projects in the pipeline. Of course, Cruel and Beautiful is coming out next month. Hopefully, Rabbit Hole will be coming out the month after that. Hopefully, uh, um, there are a lot more exciting projects on the way, but for now, let's focus on the Eye of the Dragon, or as the Order of the Dragon, as it was called in the planning stages, which I suppose is technically the name of the entire series at this stage. Um, well, I guess it is the name of the series now that it's published, but um, the idea originally, very early on, was for the entire. I did not like the idea of making a single book. I did not like the idea of making a series of books like this. My idea going into this was to make something that would be like a fun, exciting combat fantasy story that would be able to set up the characters, the plot, and the world, and the battles within like 100,000 words. Like so, very very short. Like originally, my idea was that Jack, the protagonist of the novel, would get his powers and be immediately recruited to fight other people like him. So he would use his insane dragon powers to combat the other Dracos in the world and bring them to heel, right? Like they all have like different moralities and different like beliefs and opinions and radically different powers, but it all comes down to the same thing. They have to fight, and that's the sort of thing I always really really enjoy, and that's one of the primary influences of this series. Actually, is that like it is very much influenced by shonen battle manga that I grew up with, like stuff like Naruto, One Piece, Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball. It's just I've always loved that stuff, and I feel like getting a more sort of American, an American novelist perspective on it, like maybe fleshing out the worlds more, and maybe giving some more out there ideas or a different culture to it. I do think I've given it a radically different personality than stuff you might see in other series like it. You know what I mean? It does feel a little bit different. It does feel a little bit out there, and that was always my intention. I always wanted it to be strange. I always wanted to be like something new and different and unique, and I think I did succeed in that perspective. I've done a lot of things that aren't actually setting things up for future novels. A lot of things I've come up with are things that I'm very, very, very proud of, and I'm not sure I should go into detail talking about that specifically before like the other books have been written. But at this stage, for the first book alone, I think I'm really liking the sort of Western inspired sort of like designs for the characters, like the ideas behind them, what motivates them, and what causes them to fight. again, it's I am very, very pleased with it. Very, very pleased with how things have turned out, and it's radically different than the core inspiration for the novel. I was actually going to make a separate video about this, but I might as well bring that up now. This was actually inspired by Dragon Quest IV, of all things, and it's kind of hard. It's I think I've confirmed this in the past, but I was sitting in my house playing Dragon Quest IV, thinking about how much I love the game and stuff like that, and then it came to me that I really wanted to make something like it, and so like I came up with this idea of knights, banding together to fight crazy demons. I came up with the real world setting, the contemporary real world setting. I came up with all these situations. I came up with trying to come up with these unusual powers. It was incredibly exciting from day one, and I suppose it has radically changed from the early days. Again, it was originally supposed to be one novel, but I am definitely very, very pleased with what I've come up with. I think it's different. I think it's unique. I think it's I think I've done a lot here that's to be proud of, even if it's not the best novel of all time or the best novel I'm ever going to write. Really, like when you get down to it, like I'm still at that stage in my writing career where I feel like every new thing I make is like the best thing I've ever done. You know what I mean? Or maybe that's not the right way to put it. I still think the Black Castle is probably the best thing I'm working on right now. But I do feel like I'm technically improving and trying new things and making cool new stuff. Like every time I come up with a new concept or idea, and it's very, very exciting to me. Like Rabbit Hole is radically different from Eye of the Dragon. Like Cruel and Beautiful is radically different from Eye of the Dragon. Clover was radically different than Cruel and Beautiful. Lightning Ike was radically different than the Black Castle. Like it just keeps going on and on and on and on. And I'm hoping that eventually, a couple of years from now, 5, 10 years from now, I'll really hit it out of the park and really make something really great. And I'm definitely well on my way. I'm definitely really definitely really impressed with what I'm doing. Of course, it's publicly available now, so you can check it out. I'm definitely looking forward to continuing the story because there is going to be a sequel at some point. I'm definitely interested in continuing what I've been doing with this and continuing to work on Rabbit Hole. Like Rabbit Hole is my focus right now, obviously, but The Order of the Dragon is going to continue being a focus for me going forward. I am very, very excited about what the future holds for this series. Please check it out. I'll have a link in the description. Thank you for watching my video and supporting my content.